What comes to your mind when you hear the word vulnerability? Well, just park your thoughts and just see this video. Maybe this interests you more, this intrigues you more. And if you happen to read my book, Vulnerability Intelligence, you'll get to know more perspectives about it.
We've all heard of emotional intelligence and IQ. But what is this vulnerability intelligence? Let me start with the real story. Years ago, the author of the Vulnerability Intelligence book attended a workshop on emotions. Under every chair, there was a bottle of water and a box of tissues. He found it strange, but by the end of the day, he knew exactly why the tissue box was there. Because people cried and needed them. They cried not because they were weak, but because they were finally letting go of pain they had been carrying for years. Domestic violence, separations, abuse, self-doubt. Stories they had never shared before. And here's the surprising part. They weren't random people. They were successful, educated, well-read professionals. The kind of people you would never expect to cry in front of strangers. But after sharing, everyone felt lighter. That day, the author realized something powerful, which was, acceptance can heal, but denial amplifies pain. Let me add, vulnerability is not just about emotional breakdowns. It shows up in our daily lives. For example, take dieting. Robin, a boy, says, "I'll never eat sugar." He builds a wall. But eventually, he binges. Rita, another girl, says, "I'll enjoy dessert on weekends, but eat healthy during the week." She sets a boundary. Walls suffocate emotions. Boundaries let them breathe. That's where vulnerability intelligence comes in. It is about being aware of our emotions instead of suppressing them. It's about trusting wisely, setting boundaries, not walls, and engaging with courage. Think of it this way. A wall says, "I don't trust anyone. My emotions are safe only behind this wall." A boundary says, "I will trust you as long as you're authentic and respect my emotions." We call it intelligence because vulnerability isn't just one emotion. It's a tangled mix: fear, guilt, shame, jealousy, insecurity. You can't manage it like anger or stress. You have to interpret it and respond with clarity and intention. At work, Vi shows up as fear of failing as a leader or self-doubt when taking a new role. In relationships, it could be the shame of letting someone down or the heartbreak of betrayal. On a personal level, it may be loneliness or frustration when life feels unfair. At its core, vulnerability is not weakness. It's the courage to be authentic without letting fear of judgment shut us down. To sum up, it is awareness without denial, boundaries without walls, courage without pretending. At the end, let me say that if emotional intelligence helps you manage emotions, then vulnerability intelligence helps you honor them. And that, in my view, is where true strength begins.